Alright, so basically, I know back-to-back talking videos is a little out there for me, but this has been on my mind, and I'd rather speak this on my mind instead of just holding it in, like I do with a lot of things. But okay, just so off rip to get the helicopter off rip is crazy. But in life, I think I even made a I made a whole. I think I'm pretty sure I made a video on this already, like talking about there's everything in life is balanced. Though in that video, it was more, well, it was on that, and then the focus that I was using, well, the a topic I was using to relate to it was Adam 22's downfall of him when he was on that point of having to go bankrupt with no jumper after everything he did pretty much failed. This is gonna be like that same thing. Cause I got an example. Of course, it's easy to have a recent example to use, but just like how there's pretty much balance in life. There's duality in everything in life. There's duality when it comes to, I guess, when it comes to genders in life, and by that I'm relating to things that we're allowed, what we're supposedly, we're supposed to do, what we're meant to do, what we can get away with. On both ends, there's gonna be a double standard on both ends. There's stuff that that men can do that women can't. Matter of fact, no. Let me better word it like this. I'll better word it like this. There's stuff that's easier for men to get away with, and then there's stuff that's easier for women to get away with. Men can do one thing and it's, like, let's say, like a man can do one thing and it's all right. Women does the same thing and it's worse for them and vice versa. It's easier for it's easier for a man to be a thought than it is for a woman to be a thought. It's easier for men to hold, like, let's say, so it's easier for men to get away with holding like 7, 8, like 14 bodies. It's easier for them to get away with it because of the type of I guess the type of rhetoric that we hold, that or the belief that a lot of men believe that we're that us guys we're supposed to be having multiple partners. We're supposed to have plenty of women. Meanwhile, a woman does the same thing, and they get everything in the book thrown at them. Well, in terms of insults, I would say, in terms of insults, not like legally, but y'all know what I mean. In terms of just insults and perception, it's all negative in their way. They get called everything in the book for doing the same thing a man is doing, when in reality neither side should be partaking in those kinds of activities. Like, you can, like, what I'm saying, you can go through like failed relationships, but as far as, especially for when it comes to sex, you're not supposed to have like multiple sex partners. You're not supposed to just go out and just be having sex. I'm saying this as somebody who's committed to following the commandment where of no sex before marriage type, but I know not everybody's on that same tip, but y'all know what I mean. And then in this most recent case, I'm not even gonna bring the clip up because I heard that a lot of these streamers they be copyrighting stuff, so I ain't even gonna like risk it myself. But in the most recent case, you have well, hold on, I brought the example up. I was gonna bring up the example, but let me bring up the premise first. It's easier for women to get away with sexually harassing a man or even flat out raping a man in some cases, unfortunately, than it is for it's way easier for them to get away with it than for a man to, do the basically do the same thing, you know. In the most recent case of that, well, not really recent, this because it's a resurfaced clip. I remember the clip, but it's resurfaced right now. You have, uh, you got Nina Lynn, Zoe Plant, the D Eater, Zoe Spencer. They were sexually assaulting Silky's assistant Saeed. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Saeed. Where you can tell that he was extremely uncomfortable, that he didn't, saying he didn't want that happening to him. And then you get a lot of people on, especially a lot of guys online, clowning him because, I mean, like, really a lot of, I would say a lot of sex-driven men who are clowning him, saying that, like, bro, ain't no way you didn't like that, like, you didn't like that happening to you. I would have loved that happening to me, but it's just like not everybody on that same tip. That's the unfortunate thing. When something like that happens to a man, they can never, what I'm saying, they can never be taken. It's hard, like it's difficult for them to be taken serious because of the expectations that we got. And I'm sure if he could, that he would have like tried to like, one of them like hold him down, and or somebody held him down too. That made it even worse. But if he could have, then he would have like pushed those women away and walked away. But at the same time, like I understand being scared of like trying to do something, because then it's gonna turn into a whole thing where now it's just like, oh, like he put his hands on me, and then we all know that by law women are more favored by law than it is for us. So saying it puts us more in fear of trying to, when it comes to defending ourselves. It's an awful thing. But that's just the unfortunate thing about just really just life in general. Cause I don't want to make this thing where it's just like, oh, I'm only like condemning women and all that, but it's just like there's always gonna be double standards within everything and every single aspect of everything. You know what I'm saying? That's just the duality of humanity, and that's mainly due to a lot of like just current expectations, current like how we I keep forgetting the word when I'm thinking for. Y'all could correct me, but just how we view either gender, you know, like like women is supposed to be this way, and then men is supposed to be this way. I mean, some perceptions do need to change. A lot of it, like, 'cause a lot of it is like wrong thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like some of it ain't really like aligned. They're just not aligned correctly, not aligned positively, and a lot of stereotypes. That's what I was looking for. A lot of stereotypes do need to change. They need to change for the better. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't. It shouldn't be acceptable for either gender to be around here being thoughts. It shouldn't be acceptable for uh I'm trying to think of some other examples. What's another thing? That's really the only thing I could think of. That's because it's, really relating to the topic, which y'all know. But y'all can, I know y'all could think of a lot more examples than I can right now. I'm fresh out of bed, and I got to get ready for school in a bit. Yes, this is pre-recorded like crazy, but yeah, it's just that's. I feel like we need to change a lot of things, and we need for we need to bring in more. Is condemn the right word? Is condemning the correct word I'm using? Like, we need to condemn them more when they when either side does wrong and commit wrong and all the other stuff. So I'm running blank now. Y'all know how it is. When I start running blank, that's basically the end of it. But uh, Friday, I don't know if I might. This might be a whole week of talking videos. I probably might do that. See how that goes. Because there is another topic on my mind that's been on my mind, but I've been holding it in. But I'd rather let it out for the next video. So Friday is gonna be another talking commentary video, another rant, but that one's gonna be more important than this one, I would say. I'm not gonna add music in this one. The next one is gonna be no music in that one either because it's more serious. But yeah, so with that, I'll see you whenever.